What's going on, guys? Back here with another video. Today we'll be talking about positivity maxing, the term I came up with, and I thought this would be a useful video because there's so much negativity in the world right now, and I think we could all use a little positivity in our lives. So I'm going to be showing you how to scientifically bring more positivity in your life. And all these videos are just to elevate your life, so I hope you enjoy this one, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is about mirror neurons, and that's kind of what the video is going to be about. So mirror neurons are these brain cells in your brain, of course, that fire when you act and observe, as you can read right there. But the mirror part speaks numbers, because basically I like to call these the personality neurons, because everything you've seen, everything you've consumed over the years, everything you surround yourself with has made you into who you are today, and that is because of mirror neurons. So yeah, they're a reflection of what you see, really. So I'm gonna get into that. Let's move on. So the main players in what affects your mirror neurons are the media, your peers, and your environment. Now, you could make an argument that your peers and environment kind of blend into the same thing, but you may be asking, what does this mean? So I'm going to give you some positive and negative examples. So let's first do the negative examples, because I feel like that's what a lot of people need help with the most, and a lot of people can relate to these things. So let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, so some negative examples are, a huge scrolling addiction, and I feel like we're all some sort of victim to this. But I don't know about you guys, but when I'm on my phone for, a period at a time, like a pretty period, maybe more than 10 minutes, I just feel bad. I feel sick almost, and that's because of the light it emits. And doom scrolling also plays into laziness, procrastination, just bed rotting, and just being in your room all day, not getting any sunlight, not doing anything, just absorbing all that blue light and that all that dopamine that's in your brain. It's really not good for you at all. And those apps are made for you to just stay on there for hours and hours and hours, and just desensitize yourself from the world in your own life. Another negative example is something I kind of find funny. Is the negative music, like these drill rap, all these like Chicago street artists talk about killing, just all this violent stuff. And so I think this music is very negative. I think it's very detrimental to a lot of people. And a lot of the younger audiences think that this is cool. Like this is like who I want to be. Like this is the idols, man. And I don't think what a lot of people realize is that in these songs they do a lot of what they say. Like they're not just talking about. And so a lot of these songs talk about killing, guns, and most of what's wrong with the world. And so listening to that music puts a really big seed in your brain, and the more you listen, the more it starts to develop. And I mean, those don't look like very nice guys, so that's all I gotta say. Moving on, junk food. A lot of this is what a lot of Americans' diets look like right now. And the more you consume, the more normalized it gets. So for me, let's say I go get McDonald's, which I don't think I ever would, because I'm just not a big fan of McDonald's. But let's say I go get McDonald's after eating lots of organic food and not eating much processed stuff like McDonald's is, I'm probably not going to feel good after, eating some McDonald's. But let's say I only had McDonald's for a week, my body would adapt to that crap I'm putting in my stomach. And I would soon not feel anything after eating it. It'd just be like a regular meal because, that's how normalized, that's how accustomed I've become to it. And so, I feel like the junk food symbolizes, temporary happiness. You'll eat this, man, it tastes so good. This burger, this ice cream, this milkshake, fries, whatever, it tastes so good. But then once you finish eating them, you're like, man, you step on the scale the next morning, you're like, I gained like a couple pounds. I don't feel good after eating this. Look how bloated I am. And, you end up regretting it. But then the next night you go do the same thing. So it's all about breaking these negative habits. That's what I'm trying to get across. Another, stress. Stress has a lot to do with your brain. The cortisol hormone that's released when you stress. And stress does nothing good for you. Nothing. What I like to say is, if you're stressing, it's usually about something that hasn't even happened yet. And I think, looking back on it, I really think that's true because, let's say you're a student. You're stressing about a test, but you studied like 3 or 4 hours for it. I mean, you did your best, I assume, if you're studying that much. So why would you stress about something that you gave your all to? Part of positivity is focusing on only the things you can control. People liking you, outcomes, you can't control those, but you can control what you do to, have an effect on those. So don't stress, just worry about things that you can control, man. Stress, I promise you, does nothing good for you. So get the word, I'm worried, I'm scared, man, I'm so screwed, man, I'm, this and that. Just be present in the moment, just think positively, hope for the best outcome, always. Another, and yeah, this kind of goes to the junk food, but, any type of substance abuse, any type of, cow trotting, whatever, like, if you do this in moderation is okay, but, if this is looking like your everyday life right here, then your brain's fried and, you're probably screwed. But if you're watching this probably isn't you. So, yeah, let's move on to some positive examples now. That was a lot. Alright, so I really like these. So, some easy things you can do. Watch a heartfelt movie, watch a positive movie. As I was saying, mirror neurons, they affect your personality, they affect how you do things, they affect, I know you've watched a movie and it's, you liked it so much that it changed you as a person. Like, I remember walking out of the new Superman movie, and like, man, that I didn't expect that to be so good. And Superman, like that, like, this movie gave me hope. And I remember as a little kid, I'd be watching these Superman movies, these, superhero movies, and being like, almost changing my voice like these heroes, changing my voice like these actors, and, changing the way I acted. And so the more positive things you consume, the more positive you're going to be. It's just science proven. It's, mirror neurons. Get that through your head. Nature, going out in nature, getting some vitamin D. Vitamin D and, just spending time out in nature, free from all the electronics, free from all the phones, is proven to, de-stress you, make you happier, natural dopamine. Instead of scrolling, instead of eating something bad for you, you go outside and get some sun, man. Get some sun on your body. Yeah, man, I mean, it just makes you a lot happier, and, it'll change your life. The more time you spend outside, happier you're gonna get. Smiling. This is the first picture that came to mind, but the more you smile, I know not a lot of people do that, but the more you smile, the more positive you're going to be. The more people you make smile, the more positive you're going to be. Smiling is a sign of, your endorphins released. Like, it's a certain chemical that goes off in your head. Spend time with people you love. When you're with your friends, when you're doing something you love, you're probably smiling. You're probably laughing, you're probably doing that. And, that's positive. You got to realize there are little wins in your life that, just keep building that positive momentum. So, yeah, just smile more than you think you do. Any type of pets, any type of dogs. There's not too much to say. I've never seen a dog be negative. You pet a dog, they'll always come back to you. They'll be your best friend. I'm petting my dog right now. He's sitting right next to me. Others listen to music you love, positive music. Just some light music. It doesn't have to be some stick figure. That's what I like. It can be anything. Just make sure you're getting away from that violent music. So yeah, those are some positive examples. Now let's move on to how to train your mirror neurons. And so these are just some examples. You can dive deeper if you want to on your own time. But just journal about positive things. Surround yourself with good people. As I said, we can go back up here. Consume positive things. And then I think this is the last one, is probably the most important. When somebody makes you mad, when somebody makes you frustrated, which I feel like a lot of people get frustrated a lot of people get mad a lot. You need to channel your anger. You can't take it out on other people. You can't take it out on other things. You have to channel your anger into something positive. I remember I used to play basketball, and there were two types of basketball players when they got angry. I'll use this as an example. They'd miss a shot, or they'd do something bad like that, and one of the basketball players would go and try to viciously steal the ball from the opponent, and the other would be like, "Oh man, I missed that shot. I'm gonna do better on the next time and make better on the result." He takes a deep breath and he gathers himself and he focuses that anger into motivation, into a learning experience. And that basketball player is probably going to be much more successful for the rest of the game than the first one. So this brings me down to my last segment, your responsibility now. So after watching this video, you have the brief overview of mirror neurons. So now your responsibility is that you need to, not only consume positive things, not only experience positive things, but help others do the same. You need to spread positivity. Part of growing as a person, part of growing the amount of positive things in your life is spreading positivity. And I don't think there's a lot of people doing that. There's so much hate online. There's so much hate in the world. Everybody is divided. The more you can desensitize yourself from that and just spread positivity, make people laugh, make people smile, compliment people, make people feel good about themselves, the more that's going to reflect on you. I want you to think about on Christmas, on somebody's birthday, when you've given them something that you know that they want and you see how happy they get. Does that not make you feel good? Does that not make you feel so happy? So I want to leave you with this. The pain you've experienced in the past, your past experiences, things other people have done to hurt you, just bad things you experienced. Your responsibility right now is to make sure nobody else has to go through that. If something's not right at your home, your responsibility is not to take that out on other people, on your peers, but it's to make sure that if somebody's going through the same thing, you're there for them. You're helping them. So just the more you spread positivity, the more positive things you consume, the more you're there for people, the more that you leave a positive effect on other people's lives, the better you're going to be, the better you're going to feel about yourself, and the more positive your life's going to be. That's it for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Again, I'm going to try to be more consistent with this channel. I'm just swamped with school and trading. But yeah, we're going to keep pumping these videos out. I got a good next video, so stay tuned from that. Make sure to like and subscribe. I love y'all, man. Peace out.